Welcome to the YouTube channel Captain Chandan. I will continue the General Air Navigation training series for CPL and ATPL examination. So in this video we will continue 1:60 rule part 2. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe my channel for more update. We'll start now. We will see some important terms. Track made good. Distance of track, distance covered, track error, required track, correction angle, closing angle, desired track. These are the points which are going to be used in various questions. Now we will see each term in detail. Track made good, also called TMG. Actual path followed by aircraft is called track made good. Track error. The angular difference between track made good and desired track is called track error. If the aircraft is left of desired track, then track error is left, that is called port. If the aircraft is right of desired track, then track error is right, that is starboard. Datum will be planned track or desired track. Note, track error and drift is different things. Error is measured between desired track and actual track, that is called track made good. Drift is measured between heading and track. Closing track. The required track offer alternation of heading to approach the waypoint is called closing track. Correction angle. The angle between closing track and track made good is called correction angle. Correction angle equal track error plus closing angle. Closing angle. The angle between desired track, closing track is called closing angle. We'll take one example. Over position A, an aircraft set heading for B, a ground distance of 78 nautical mile. After traveling 30 nautical mile along track, the pilot fixed the aircraft at a position C, 4 nautical mile port of track. What is the track error? So we will apply 1:60 formula. Drift angle, that is track error, equals 60 times distance of track divided by distance covered. Put all the value, and after solving the drift angle, our track error is 8 degree. Change heading to desired track, or we can say alter heading if your aircraft is off track. So what heading you will fly to reach your destination? You are flying from position A to B. You are off track to the left of your planned track. So what you will do to reach point B? Of course, turn heading right. It is simple, but important part is what correct heading to fly to reach the destination. So first of all, turn heading to parallel of AB. Now you can see both angle are same, that is a small a. Because if there is a two parallel line, if you cut both line, the angle will be same. I must sure you study this parallel thing in your high school days. Now turn your heading to point B. Again same situation. Both angle are same, that is a small b. As you see here, we turn heading 2 times to reach the destination. To find the required heading to point B, add track error and closing angle, that is A plus B. We'll see the example. An aircraft is flying from M to N, distance 55 nautical mile. After 25 nautical mile, the aircraft is 2.5 nautical mile right of track. What alternation of heading is required to fly direct N? So first turn heading to left, parallel to planned track, MN. Then turn heading to position N. First of all, find angle A and angle B. apply 1:60 formula. Track error equals 60 times distance of track, that is 2.5 nautical mile, divided by distance covered, that is 25 nautical mile. After solving, angle A is 6 degree. Similar, we can find angle B. So the track error angle B equals 60 times 2.5, that is off track distance, divided by distance to go, that is 30 nautical mile. After solving, angle B is 5 degree. So heading to fly equal A plus B, that is 6 plus 5, that is 11 degree left. Height on a glide slope. By using 1:60 formula, we can calculate height of aircraft while approaching. Here important point is height is in feet and distance to runway, that is range in nautical mile. And suppose glide slope angle is z degree, normally it is 3 degree. By using 1:60 formula, glide slope angle equal height, that is in feet, divided by range in nautical mile times 60. Rearrange this formula, height equal angle time range divided by 60. So using this formula, we can calculate distance to go and height of aircraft from a ground. For height and range calculation, we also apply 1:60 formula. Range is normally measured in nautical mile and we need height in feet. Range must be converted to feet. While solving numerical, feet or nautical mile must be in same unit. If you are looking for a height, then range must be in feet. But if you are looking for a range, then height must be in nautical mile. But I will give you a thumb rule that no need to convert units. So here height equal angle times 100 times range. You can directly enter the value in this formula. If you put range in nautical mile, it will give you height in feet, and putting height in feet give you range in nautical mile. One more example. On a 3 degree glide slope at 4 nautical mile from touchdown, what is height of aircraft from ground? So apply formula, height equal angle times 100 times range. Putting the value 3 degree times 100 times 4, that is 1200 feet. So aircraft height from a ground is 1200 feet. 3 degree glide slope are the most common. 2.5 degree glide slope are found at military airfield operating high speed jet. Glide slope greater than 3 degree are normally found when airfield are located near high building or train. Now we will look rate of descent. Rate of descent is in feet per minute and ground speed is in you can say nautical mile per hour. Rate of descent equals angle times 100 times ground speed divided by 60. The formula give you a rate of descent in feet per minute. There is another thumb rule for rate of descent, but this is only valid for 3 degree glide slope. Rate of descent equals 5 times ground speed. If you know the ground speed, just multiply by 5, you will know your rate of descent in feet. Change of speed on a glide slope. To maintain a glide slope, decrease speed means decrease rate of descent. Increase speed, increase rate of descent. To find a change in rate of descent, we have a formula. Change in rate of descent equals angle times 100 times change in speed divided by 60. For example, if your glide slope is 3 degree and your ground speed is 140 knot, what rate of descent is required to maintain the glide slope? For solution, apply rate of descent formula, that is 5 times ground speed. We are applying this formula because glide slope is only 3 degree. So putting the value, rate of descent equals 700 feet per minute. Now runway slope. As you can see in the diagram, runway is not in level, it is in slope. In this picture, the threshold elevation of runway 09 is 90 feet. The threshold elevation of runway 27 is 200 feet. Runway length is 8000 feet. What is the slope of runway 09 in degree? This type of problem also solved using 1:60 formula. So the formula for runway slope is different in elevation divided by runway length. Put all the value, slope at runway 09 will be 0.8 to 5 degree. Now we look VOR and DME problem. VOR stands for very high omnidirectional radio range. DME is distance measuring equipment. Both came in radio navigation, which I will cover in upcoming video. For meantime, VOR give track and DME give range. In this above figure, you are flying along a airways to VOR DME Q. The airway QDM is 271 degree magnetic. Your radiomagnetic indicator indicate your QDM to Q as 266 degree magnetic, range 48 nautical mile. How far you are off the track, airway, center line and which side? Angle of track equal distance of track divided by range, that is in nautical mile, times 60. Angle of track equal 271 degree minus 266 degree, that is 5 degree. Putting all the value in this formula, distance of track will be 4 nautical mile to the right of center line. Most of airway are 10 nautical mile wide, means 5 nautical mile either side of center line.